Hey everyone. So in this video, I wanted to give you a look into my workshop and kind of see some of the equipment I have and how I try to stay organized. I also wanted to give you a little history on my background and some of my experience working through the industry. So let's jump into it. I have been working for a creative agency for the past 12 years as a media director. The company is based in California, and I started working there as a contract editor. And then that eventually grew into a videographer position. And then I was hired full time. A few years go by, I become the media director for the company. And it's a relatively small company, only a handful of employees, but now I oversee all the production side of the creative agency, in charge of coordinating shoots and hiring contractors and everything from start to finish as far as pre-production and post-production. When I first started with the company 12 years ago, they were kind of just starting out. So we've definitely kind of grown together, and I've grown into the position I am in now. We've done a lot of work all over the country, lots of travel, super high pace since I've been there. And it's been great, honestly. They're really good people. They're like family. And I love the work that we do. And it's been an awesome journey so far. Obviously, living in California is amazing. There's lots of perks. The weather is always nice. But as far as the economy, it's very hard to make a living in California with a family. I obviously worked a full-time job as media director, but I also had to have a side hustle to kind of provide for my family. My wife is a stay-at-home mom with 2 boys, and we've always lived off of one paycheck. So it's very hard for a family to make it in California. At that time, I had to do a lot of side work, side hustle, weekends, that sort of thing. I worked corporate gigs over the weekend, sometimes assisting other creatives, DP work, camera op, audio, like whatever needed to be done, I would help in some way to make a little extra money. I did a lot of weddings. I worked for a company that did 60 plus weddings a year, and that was a great experience. I worked with lots of creators and social influencers. I worked 2 years for Jasmine Star, creating content for her. And I was sad when I had to leave a lot of my existing clients behind when I moved to Arkansas. But living close to LA, there was just so much work, especially if you're well connected. You could work pretty much every day if you wanted to. And during that time, I started to invest a lot of the extra money I was making into gear. Every shoot I did, I would try and put away at least 10% into an account, a savings account, and then save for a camera or a piece of equipment that would help me get more jobs or just make my life a little bit easier. And then I started renting out some equipment. I had a couple of C100s at the time. I would rent those out to other creators, other friends, other people in the industry that needed a camera. I would rent out lighting, pretty much anything I had. If someone called me up saying, hey, I need this lens, can I come pick it up? Sure. And that was also a way for me to make a little extra money, was kind of renting some of my equipment outside of what I would bring to a production. Mostly just started with friends, and I still kind of keep a small network. I don't advertise that I'm a rental facility or anything like that. But yeah, that was also another way of making some extra money on the side to help provide for my family. So about 3 years ago, my wife and I decided to move our family from California to Arkansas just for more of a change of pace. I was working a ton, not only with my full-time job, but with all the side hustle work on the weekends. At that time, we only had one son. When we moved to Arkansas, we literally just had our second child, and then we moved like a month later to Arkansas. It's just been a great change of pace for us, me not having to work as much and still keep my full-time position as a media director for the company in California. I work remotely now from home. And then I also fly in for production or fly in for meetings or whatever I have to do to kind of keep the ball moving with my job. I try to keep a 9 to 5 schedule with them. And then at nights or weekends, I can still do other work. But moving to Arkansas has been such a great change of pace for us. It was probably the best decision we have made. Out here, it's just a lot more open. Our kids can play in our backyard and we don't have to worry about them. And we have neighbors, but they're not like super close to us. So we have a lot of space for our family to grow. But I don't feel that pressure to always have to work a weekend or, work at night or anything like that. Now I get to be a little bit more choosy as to what freelance gigs I want to do. And the people that I've connected with here in Arkansas have been amazing. They're just super like-minded. Honestly, it's a smaller network than obviously LA was, but it's a great network. I feel like it's almost like working with family members. Some of the connections that I've made already here. So we're just super happy. And now I'll give you guys a tour of my workshop that I have here where I store all my gear. It's kind of crazy. When I lived in California, I had 3 storage units to store a lot of my equipment. But moving here to Arkansas, we have a big shop, which is pretty much like a big garage in our backyard. And I keep all my equipment there. Just makes life a lot easier. But yeah, let me go ahead and give you guys kind of a breakdown and a tour. Obviously, I can't go over every single piece of equipment I own. You guys kind of get a gist of what I have and what I've acquired over the years. So these are my Kino Flow lights. I have quite a few of them. I have 2 of the 4-foot gaffer kits. I have 2 VistaBeam 600s with the full kits inside there, tungsten bulbs and daylight bulbs. And then I have a Parabeam 400 and then a couple of Divas in these cases here. And these are my aperture light cases, a couple of 1x1s and some extra C-stands. Here I have some of my HMIs. These are 1200 watt HMI PARs. And honestly, they're so good. These are extremely old lights, but they fire up every time. I've never had a major issue with them. They're just super solid. The only downside is how big they are and heavy. And then I have a couple of other older LEDs. This is an IntelliTech 485, but that's another LED light, and that works really great. And then I have a Dana dolly here and a couple of other little things in those crates. These are the carts that I have kind of built myself. I've seen lots of people do it on YouTube. And they as you can tell, they work really well. I just have a ladder on it right now, but usually I have these things loaded if I'm doing a gig. Then moving on to this side, these are Cyto crates. I don't even know how you pronounce them, but I'm planning on replacing a lot of my old milk crates with these guys. They're just a lot more versatile. I love the dividers. The plastic is very rugged and you can stack them really nice, and they have lids. So they're just all around really good. These are some director's chairs that I have, as well as I usually keep stands here. And then I have a menace arm, 10-foot menace arm, as well as a 18-foot jib. This is just an all-around cart that I use to lug around stuff, but for now it just has some header cables and SDI cables and little things like that. Then I have a NAND light. I believe this is the Forza 500 or the 300, one of those, and it's great. I love it. And then this is the biggest Pelican case you can travel with. I usually just put a bunch of stuff in there. Then I have a bunch of just random furniture pads. I do have a couple of tungsten lights still. I've managed to get rid of a lot of them, but this is a mole zip light. Then I have some empty Pelican cases here for airline travel. I mostly put stands in these bigger cases, like C-stands or light stands, tripods, whatever, kind of fit in these guys here. I usually keep my diffusion up here. There's lots of soft boxes and reflectors, and I also like to keep some foam laying around just in case I need to customize a empty case or whatnot. And then these are my tripods and camera support. I have a bunch of random tripods, which still work great. This was my first Miller tripod that I bought, and it is a beast. It still works to this day. It's nice and smooth. And then I have a couple of new tripods that I've purchased. This is from a company called Siru. It's a BCH30, but it's a beast of a tripod. I think the payload is like 50 or 60 pounds. Then I have it with a set of carbon fiber legs. So it's just been an all-around good tripod. And I have an easy rig in there as well, just anything kind of camera support. And this is just a laundry hamper. It's a big one, but it will fit inside my van. And this is where I keep all my teleprompters. I have about 6 or 7 teleprompters. Some of them are a little bit makeshift. iPad teleprompters, big studio teleprompters, different size screens. And I mostly like to use Prompter People. They have a really great product for the price, and their customer support is really awesome too. So I use a lot of Prompter People teleprompters. Over on this guy, it's mostly just storage for now, but I have a generator that I can use with the HMIs. I think it's like a 2000 watt generator or something like that. And then over on these road cases, I use these a lot for multicam shoots. This smaller one houses a bunch of SDI cables and then a monitor, just anything video related for a multicam shoot. I keep in this road case here. And then this larger road case houses all of my audio. So I have a couple of audio racks as well as like a mixer and a recorder. And I just keep it all built into this road case here. And it's nice. It has a little side table that you can store a bunch of stuff onto. But yeah, this is what I'm working with. It's hard to stay organized with this amount of gear, but I try my best to keep it organized and clean. But yeah, this is just an accumulation of being in this industry for 12 plus years and setting aside 10% from every shoot to put into a fund to purchase new equipment. That's kind of been my method. Yeah, this is just kind of a look inside my shop, my warehouse, my closet, my room, whatever you guys want to call it. This is what I have. Let me know if you have any questions on any of these items, or if you have any questions in general, just leave them in the comments below. And thanks so much for watching.